What's up guys, Alex from FIFA Scouting Tips here, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 9 of Pompey Youth Stars. Just before I get started, don't forget that the Scouting God contest ends tonight. It's on best 16-year-old players. All the details for submitting your entries will be at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Now, we had this game against Leicester City. They are pretty close to us in the league. As you can see, they are only one place behind us, 3 points, so it's essential that we keep going and get a good result against them to try and keep our distance and stay in that third spot or even push up into second. So let's play this match and see how we do against them. I'm going to be honest, this was one of the most frustrating games I have ever played. Everything just seemed to go wrong. None of my players cared about getting the ball, many cases actively backing away from the opposition player with the ball, and it just meant I could not get anywhere near them. Passes were constantly going astray, things like this were happening, ball just bouncing off his face, no attempt made to get the ball, and these are things which are happening with the AI, like there we go again, running into the ball and bouncing it away. And there's things which were just so frustrating, constantly going wrong, passing going astray in really deadly areas, and making a tackle, stumbling over the ball, giving it away again. And I was just letting them through basically because none of my players seemed to have brains in this matches, kicking the ball straight back into the danger zone. It was just non-stop, all the time it was going on, and it was just so frustrating. You'd make a block and it would bounce back to the opposition. Cross the ball and 3 players go for it, all literally fall over each other, on the ground, stumbling over each other, and just letting the striker roll it into the bottom corner. But when that happens, when you've got players falling over each other, where they're running away from the player with the ball, not trying to tackle, these are things that you can't control, and it feels like it's out of your hands when it happens, and that's how it felt when I was playing it. These are the type of things which we know exist in the game, but we put up with them when we're winning, because we are winning, that's what matters. But when you're losing, it's so frustrating. This was pretty much as close as I got in the first half to doing anything halfway decent, and it wasn't even a shot on goal. I could just do nothing right, I was just getting completely dominated, whereas with Leicester, every time they went forward, they were threatening my goal and having attempts on target. This was the only shot I seemed to manage, Bong barging his way through, but look at that, how poor is that? It almost went out for a throw-in. It was closer to the throw-in than it was to a goal kick. It was just absolutely abysmal. My performance was shocking in this half, but just look at this. Yep, you saw that right, Doherty dived over the ball. He could have reached it quite easily, but his hand was too high and he dived over it. What can you do in that situation? I can't control the goalkeeper, and he dived over the ball. So yes, I didn't deserve to be any less than 2-0 down, but I didn't deserve to lose a goal like that. I mean, I couldn't even control that. Doherty is high rated, but that's 2 stupid free kicks he's let in. If you remember a couple of episodes ago, he did a similar thing. Leicester's defenders were all over me, constantly closing me down. I had no space at all. But when they had the ball, they could just do that, turn on a sixpence, and my players couldn't get near them to take the ball off them. It was just impossible, and when I did tackle them, that kind of thing happened. They just barged through and won it back again anyway. So I came in at halftime, said I had no shots. I did have that one, but it didn't exactly count, did it? They had 64% possession, 5 shots on goal and 4 on target. It was complete and utter domination. Spot the foul. No, I couldn't see a foul there either. The ref was determined to give them a free kick though, and just like last time, they almost put it into the net again, hitting the post. So I was just completely under the cosh. My players, once again, as long as I wasn't controlling a player, no one else wanted to tackle, all actively backing away. If it wasn't for Doherty, that would have been another goal. And yes, that was Cambiasso, 5'8", 5'9", whatever he is, winning the header against my defenders. When that happens, you know you're not going to be doing well in a game. It just was not going my way, and how is this for lack of effort? Just trying to tackle, couldn't even come close again. I may as well not have been there, the guy just turning as if my player just wasn't there in front of him. What was the point? It was just so easy for them every time to come through, and this just was the highlight of it all really. My players jumping on each other's toes practically, and then passing it into someone's heels who just didn't even care, didn't even notice the ball was there, giving them another chance to come through. Doherty was doing alright, trying to make up for that horrific mistake to let in the second goal, but it didn't make up for much. Another tackle, straight back to the opposition. Could barely get on the ball all game at all, and when I did go forward, just sidestepping. Paulette there, just sidestepping, not bothering to make a run, no care in the world, didn't want to help us in the attack. Pretty sure you can't really do this in real life, but Cambiasso didn't care, just elbowing his way in front of my player. And this was another frustrating thing. Look at Bova here, straight past, ran straight past the player with the ball. I think if there were any more I would have just quit, but luckily the whistle blew and put me out of my misery. Came to it, still saying I had 0 shots, but I hadn't had any more since that bong effort. They had 9 shots, 64% possession. I didn't really have any players that were hopeful. I was just glad to be put out of my misery. What a fiasco that was. Well, after that complete fiasco, we've got Andrew Robson asking for a wage increase, and Kelvin Bong saying that he's thankful for getting so much game time. So let's go and have a look at Robson's wages. Okay, he wants it bumped up to 2,000. He's currently on 1,000. That is fine. We have enough in there, so I don't mind doing that. So let's see if he accepts that. Right, so we have this update from Murphin, scouting in Uruguay, 1 player, and he is total garbage, 46 to 64 potential. No, thank you. So that was a bit crap. Now we have this game against Reading, so hopefully we can get back to winning ways and off that horrible result against Leicester. So I'm going to be simming this one because Reading aren't that close to us. So let's see how we do with it. So this could be quite a tough game. Reading are a good team and we are away as well. But we win 3-2, so that's a pretty good result. Garassi getting the winning goal in the 84th minute, so that's not a bad result at all. And a little bit more good news as well. Robson has accepted his contract, so that is another good piece of news in this week. Right, next up we have this match against Nottingham Forest. Once again, I am going to sim it because they're not very close to us in the league. So we want to get on past this and up to the next scouting report pretty quickly. So we win 2-0, really good result. Bong and Paulette getting the goals. Paulette in the first minute as well. So that is really good and hopefully going to keep marching up the table. Right, annoyingly we have this message saying that Paulette, Doherty and Sobby are going to be out on international duty, which means they are going to miss 1 game for us, which could be kind of important. Hopefully it won't turn out to be that important, but it's a bit annoying when that happens, I guess. So on to the next game against Watford. They're not quite in the promotion chasing places, so I'm going to sim this one. I'm just restricting it to teams in the qualification places to go up at the end of the season. Remember, we have loads of players out on international duty as well, so I've had to change the squad around a fair amount, but we still win 2-0. Lodigan getting 2 goals, really good result considering the depleted nature of our team, so that is a pretty excellent result there. Right, so 2 more reports here, and we have our last one from Canada. Can we get any decent players from Canada? Well, first of all, we have Ashton Morgan, 60 to 78, not good enough unfortunately, reject him. Fraser Haynote, 58 to 78, definitely not good enough. Marcel Crepeau, this is going to be a difficult one, 68 to 86, probably got mid-70s potential. I guess that's not too bad, and we haven't got anything out of Canada so far, so I will sign him up. Hopefully he'll turn out good. And then Sam Johnson, 61 to 83, just not quite good enough. I don't think he'll be about 71, 72 potential. That's not really very good, so I'll turn that player down. So Canada was a pretty unsuccessful destination for scouting, really, so maybe don't try that yourselves when you go scouting. But we have this one from Demidov, and we have David Ibanez, 63, or David Ibanez, sorry, not Spanish, 63 to 85 goalkeeper. I got some pretty good goalkeepers as it is, and that's not the highest potential, probably early 70s, so I think I'll reject that player. James Fussell, 57 to 77, definitely not. And then Scott Richards, 66 to 82 after 3 months, again not good enough. So those are our scouting reports for this month. So that means that Martin Lee is now available now that he's back from Canada. I think that once Leroy Murphin is finished on his scouting trip to Uruguay, I'm going to fire him and get a new scout because he's only 1 star in judgment and experience. So I can probably afford a slightly better one, hopefully. If not, I may have to save up to next season. So we're still waiting for him to come back. So while we're waiting, we have Martin Lee available. I'm still looking for a winger, really. Haven't got very many fast players. We really do need to find some fast players. But I'm going to try and keep it realistic. So I'm going to scout in the British Isles again, I think. Scotland's been actually quite lucrative for me. I've got a scout in England already, so I can't go there. So Scotland's been quite lucrative, and I think I might try there again. Found Doherty in there, remember, and also Paulette, so I've got some really good players there. So we'll try 6 months for winger. Yeah, let's go for 6 months, leave ourselves a little bit of money left over, and hopefully that'll find us a good pacey player or 2. So Derby up next, and they are languishing in mid-table. We're still pushing for promotion places, so we can quickly sim through this one, hopefully get a decent result against them and push on. And yep, 3-1, good result. Bong getting a penalty and Sobby getting 2. He doesn't usually score, so that's really good to see. And a good 3-1 victory against a pretty strong Derby team. Okay, so first of the month, and that means player growth time. So let's have a look at how all our players are doing in the squad so far this month. We have Doherty on 76 plus 1, then Brown, look at that, that is just incredible, 68 plus 5. He has had such a fantastic season, and he hasn't even played that much, but he has grown a whole heap of points. Goalkeeper diving plus 6, kicking and handling both on plus 5. What a fantastic amount of growth he has had. At this rate, he is going to catch up with Doherty in just a couple of years. What a fantastic prospect he looks like. So then we have Osborne on 64 plus 2 and Boviger on 66 plus 4. Paddy Malloy also gone up 4 points on 60, and then Brad Knight still a bit stuck, although his mental stats are growing, so at least he's not completely stalled, but it's very frustrating that he's not growing properly. Then Hayes on 58 plus 1. Then we have Tasaka, who as well is growing slightly in mental stats, but nothing else really, so he seems to be a little bit stuck, which is a bit annoying, but at least he's a decent squad player, so we can use him when we need him to rotate a little bit. Then we have Sobby, 68 plus 3. He has become such a fantastic anchor in the middle midfield, a real key player for the team now. Despite there being other players with a higher rating, he is just such a useful player to have. Then we have Quinton on 70 plus 3, and James Smith 61 plus 1. Robson on 64 plus 4. Now, he doesn't have a potential status, it just says at the club since 2015, so I reckon he must have a potential in the mid to high 70s, because he's grown 4 points this season, which is very impressive. Some of his stats, going up 5 points, so he's doing really well. So I imagine he must have a high potential around about 78 or 79 perhaps. So he hasn't got that potential status, but he's growing really well. Then we have Ajay Boateng up to 68 plus 1. And then Lodigan 66 plus 4. Penda is now on 71 plus 3, and another player with some fantastic stats in there all round on his technical stats. Abdel Hamid on 66 plus 3, then Mathis on 62 plus 1. Garassi is now on to 66 plus 4, and some really nice stat growth as well. Long passing plus 5, ball control plus 5 as well, really impressive stuff there. And then we have Bong, he has grown a point to 72 plus 3. And just look at his goal tally, 13 goals for us this season. He has been a really key player, definitely my top scorer, and because he is an exciting prospect, he is going to keep on growing really nicely as well. Then we have Bennett on 68 plus 1, hasn't been with us very long, but already he has grown, and his physical stats are growing too, which is nice to see. That doesn't happen that often, so he is doing pretty well. Like I said, hasn't been with us very long, but already made a good impact. Then we have Winter, a real player. He has grown though this month up to 68, and then a few more real players before we get to Paulet on 77 plus 3. A couple more real players, then we get to the players out on loan. Hickford on 61, growing mostly in physical stats, which is obviously really useful for a goalkeeper, a bit frustrating really. But then Simpson up another point onto 53, and his physical stats are growing really well as we thought they would, but also his technical stats all round are growing very well. So although they're not very good at the moment, we imagine that when he has grown a bit more and got a bit closer to his potential, he is going to be a really well-rounded midfielder, because everything seems to be growing, which is great. And then Pimentel, as usual, stuck on 60. And then finally, Mitsuharu Paulo Daniel on 64 plus 3. So that is how our team are looking this month in terms of growth. All pretty impressive stuff all around, especially this guy, David Brown, plus 5 points. He hasn't actually played that many games for us, but he has still grown a huge amount. And also, like Bong, he is an exciting prospect, so we can expect him to just keep on growing, and who knows, maybe he'll catch up with Doherty soon. So that's our player growth this month, and like I said, some pretty good stuff in there. Right, next game we have Millwall, and they're actually bottom of the league, and if you look at the table on the right hand side here, you can see that we are now in second place, 5 points up on Cardiff. I didn't actually realise we're that high up the table, so there's not really any catching Fulham at this point. They've pretty much won the league, but I'm hoping that because we're playing Millwall, we have a pretty good chance of getting a good result against them, and we are home as well, so there's not that away problem to worry about. And yep, 3-1, pretty good result. Bennett getting 2 goals, really good to see the newcomer getting some goals for us, and Garassi chipping in as well. And one thing I've just noticed as well is that Brown got put on, my goalkeeper. He replaced Hayes, so that means that Brown came on at left back, which is really weird. I'm not sure how good he is at left back. I don't imagine he's very good for some mysterious reason, but that's an interesting decision there from the computer. Would have been funny to see that on the pitch. So our next game is against Fulham, the league leaders, and they are 14 points clear of us, so it's going to be a pretty tough game. I am going to leave it until next time though, because I am out of time now, unfortunately. But just before I go, I'm just going to show you guys the Youth Academy, because we had a couple of new players in there this time round. So we have Danny Corey, 75 to 81, physically strong centre back. Keaton Nichols, 72 to 78, attacking midfielder. Then Levette Goncalves, 71 to 75, defensive minded right back. Then this is the new guy, Marcel Crepeau, 65 to 81 playmaker, and already he has gone down a bit, which is pretty annoying. So I think next month we're going to see how he is, and then possibly release him, because this was the best guy we found in Canada, and already his potential is going down. So that's fairly disappointing. They have Martin DeWitt, 73 to 79 playmaker, and then Michael Coyne, physically strong striker. And we're now approaching the May update, just a couple of months to go, so I'm going to promote these players pretty soon, so we can look forward to that. Then we have Ryan Green, that beast, that 6'7" central midfielder, 76 to 82 potential as well. He looks like he's going to be fantastic, can't wait to start using that guy. And then finally Shuttleworth Vitanen, 71 to 75. So that is our Youth Academy this month, and like I said, I will be playing this match against Fulham next time round, so make sure you tune in for that one. It's a top of the table clash, so it should be quite a good game, hopefully. So we have the Scouting God contest. It is ending this month, tonight. In fact, this month's contest is ending tonight, so it is on best 16-year-old players. Doesn't matter what position they are, as long as they are 16 years old. So if you found a really good one, take a picture of them when they're in your youth academy, or just after they've been promoted, with no stat growth, so it keeps it fair for everyone, so you have the best player straight out of the academy, that sort of thing. Take a picture, send it to @FIFA Scouting on Twitter using the hashtag ScoutingGod, or you can send it to Facebook, which is facebook.com/FIFA Scouting Tips. Or you can leave a link to the image in the comments below, or you can submit it on FIFAscoutingtips.com, however you want to do it. You've only got a couple of hours until that ends, so make sure you get your submission in soon. Then also make sure you check out FIFA Scouting Tips just in general on FIFAscoutingtips.com, because I've got loads of guides and all kinds of things for career mode up on there. Doing a newsletter as well, so you never miss a thing. And I've started doing some a roundup of really good gaming deals, that kind of stuff, money off consoles and games, anything like that. So check that out as well. That's going up on FIFAscoutingtips.com every week. So make sure you check that out and leave any suggestions you've got for what you want me to do on YouTube next, or on FIFAscoutingtips.com. Whatever, I want to hear it. Keep all your suggestions coming in. So also leave a like as well if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Okay, I just spotted we've got a little notification coming up there. 3 hours left to go. Please, can this be... Oh, good, it is. Thank God. 3 hours left on the transfer deadline day.